Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Living to Learn. Once again, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope that what I share with you today is going to be helpful. That is, after all, the whole point of making these videos, sharing things that I think are not only helpful, but have actually been helpful to me. Now, if you've been following my channel, please subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already. But if you've been following my channel, if you've been keeping up with my videos lately, you know that I've been trying to stay within a certain theme, especially this week. And I'm talking about basically that overall journey, process of change, a lot of the different things that come with it, a lot of the different elements that you're going to find when you are on this pursuit of change, when you are looking to change, when you want to become a different version of yourself. It could apply to one area of your life. It could apply to many. It could be applied to your entire life. I don't know where you're at in this journey. But a couple of things I've already covered in previous videos was, the first one was about embracing and finding strength in solitude. And then I just made another one about finding strength and embracing vulnerability as a part of change. And these are difficult things, right? Change is hard. So today I want to talk about the desire for change, and I want to share with you some stories in my life, some incidents, things from my personal story that I think will be helpful, and I hope will be helpful to you. But the desire for change, I think it's out there. I think that for the majority of us, we at one point in time, or maybe more recently, have had a desire for change that comes from a number of different things, right? You have a different motivations or catalysts, if you will, that spark the desire for change. And it could be a number of things. And what you have found out, if you have this desire to change, so I want to just kind of recap where I've been, my story, which I would say for about the past 5.5 years, I've been truly focused on change. I've been truly focused on where I want to go, where I want to be in the future, right? I'm focusing on becoming this different version of myself. Now, I don't want to discourage you, but I want to be honest with you. And if I'm completely honest, I have to say that over all this time that I've had this literal focus, okay, I know where I want to go, I know who I want to be, I know what things I want to change, I know what things need to change in order for me to get to where I want to end up, hasn't gotten any easier. Now, I don't want to discourage you. So let me share with you that, yes, I've had some small victories. Yes, I have changed some things. Yes, I've made progress. Okay, so don't be completely discouraged. But I want to be completely honest with you. When it comes to a desire for change, that's one thing. You have to understand what you're combating against. See, as human beings, we want things to be we want things to come with as little risk as possible. That's just us naturally. Okay. Now, I have a friend on LinkedIn. Her name is Heather Carter, and she shared a post not too long ago, and she said something that was absolutely 100% true in my opinion. She said, your brain is not concerned about your happiness. Your brain is concerned about survival. It's concerned about keeping you alive. And this is what I'm getting at. I've talked about this in previous videos, and I'm going to kind of revisit that today. But when you have that desire for change, at the same time, your mind or your human nature has a desire to stay safe. And what that means is stay the same. Stay in that routine. Stay with what is familiar and what I'm already used to. And it's like oil and water. They don't mix. So while you have a desire for change, hey, I want to do this, I want to be different. As soon as you pursue that, as soon as you step out into that, your brain sends a message. It sets off an alarm that says, wait a minute, we're stepping out of bounds here. We're not in our comfort zone anymore. You need to come back. Remember, the brain, it doesn't have a personality. It's just, it acts on how it acts, which is why we can put things in our mind that are both true and untrue, and the brain will accept it. You have to understand that this is our human nature. So if you've been struggling, If change has not come easy for you, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just a human being. So I want to give you some advice, but I also want to share with you things that have helped me personally. So the first thing you have to understand is what stands on the other side of that fence, right? Yeah, as soon as I make a move toward change, I've got this lizard brain, as they call it, that's going to pump out these messages to my mind and to my body telling me, hey, you're not safe right now. Okay, the first thing you got to understand is that message it's dramatic, and it's not necessarily true. Because if you're pursuing change for a good reason, that is a good thing. Again, your brain doesn't know that. It doesn't want to know that. It wants to know that you're safe and you're going to be alive. So you have to understand what you're going up against. So again, the emotions, I've talked about emotions before. Emotions are not bad. Emotions are healthy. Anger is a healthy emotion. Sadness is a healthy emotion. Joy, happiness are healthy emotions. Doesn't mean it's good to be sad. Doesn't mean it's good to be angry. What I'm saying is the fact that we can feel those things is very healthy. Now, what we have to do is we have to apply a statement that you've probably heard before, which is keep your emotions in check. So while emotions are healthy and they have a place, their place is not in the driver's seat. You understand what I'm saying? The struggles that accompany this journey, especially the feeling of loneliness, right? I did that video about solitude. They can be overwhelming. And again, this is why a lot of us allow that desire for change to shrink. Now I say us because even though I'm a life coach and I want to help people, you have to understand I am in the same boat in a lot of areas as well. You're talking to an ally. You're talking to somebody. You're listening to an ally. You're listening to somebody who understands where you're at, because I am also there. And this feeling of loneliness. And what happens is we start to succumb to these emotions, these feelings, that desire to change start to shrink, and we start to hear that voice of just pure survival. I don't care if you're going to get better. I don't care if this is a better move for you. Your brain is saying you need to come back over here where you're safe. It begins to get louder and it begins to have more influence over us, and then we quit. I want to stop right there, and I want to tell you, and I want to tell myself as well, just because you have made 99 attempts at change and they failed does not mean you will not be successful on that 100th try. I want to put that out there for you. Let me explain something. When I transitioned into a career in sales, okay, number one, I've shared this on other videos as well, just my whole employment experience. I've never felt like I belonged. I never felt like I found my place, which is why I'm glad that recently I discovered that, hey, I actually want to go into business for myself. I want to be a life coach. I'm happy to have arrived there, but I've worked, I have experience. And before I got into sales, most of my experience was in transportation, delivery driving, and just, things with set hours and set wages. I wanted more. But I also knew that there was going to be a challenge in that transition. However, I did not let that stop me from pursuing a different career. Now, is this a movie? No, I'm not here to, overnight I became the number one top earner. I've had a good career. I've made a good amount of money. I've learned a lot. I've struggled a lot. Okay, this is not I'm not trying to romanticize these things. What I'm trying to explain is that desire for change, it can become great enough. It can become so powerful and influential if we'll build it up, right? Part of building that up is taking those emotions, taking those feelings, and putting them where they belong. But it can grow strong enough to where we'll actually do something about it. We'll actually start taking those steps forward. So the desire for change, I know it's there. Maybe you wish it wasn't there because all you've seen is, hey, I take a step forward and I fall on my face. I want to tell you right now, don't let that be the end of your story. If you're watching this, if you can understand what I'm saying, that means you're still alive. And if you're still alive, there's still a chance, there's still hope. So let that desire for change burn in you. Let it gain strength. Let it overwhelm that other voice that's telling you just to stay the same because it's easier and it's safer. It's not that that voice is lying to you. That voice just doesn't recognize what you're trying to initiate and what you're trying to do. So if there's been a spark for change, if you're saying, hey, I got to do something different, continue to focus on that. Focus on that voice. Focus on that desire. Build that up. Take your steps forward. Like I've said before, I don't care if it's an inch forward a day. It's still progress. So I hope you've been encouraged by this message today. I wanted to share this with you. It's from the heart. It's from the mind. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. Please like my videos. Please hit that notification bell so that you know every time I upload a different video, something new. If you have any suggestions or you just want to leave a comment, I welcome those as well. Now, in the description of my video, you're going to find two things. Number one, you're going to find my Instagram handle, @Live2Learn_Coaching. You can follow me there for more content, but it's also an opportunity for you to reach out to me. If you want to communicate for any reason, if you or someone you know has perhaps considered hiring a life coach, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a direct message. We'll go from there. The second thing you'll find is opportunities to donate financially to my channel. Now, it's not something that you have to do, but this does take time. It does take preparation, and it is not the easiest thing to stay consistent. So financial donations are always welcomed, and they're always helpful. And for those of you that have donated financially in the past, I want to send you a huge thank you because that means a lot to me. So again, I hope you've benefited from this video. And if you know anyone who might benefit from my video or my channels, from my videos or my channel, send it to them. All right? Share the wealth if you think it's worth it. All right, have a great day.